mind buying another engine. It's not needed at this time. You can't put fires out with buildings. You need people to do that. That's the first step. You also are taking away from the medical. There is other ways to save that. That firehouse is not needed now. 96% of the time, those buildings are filled by one person right now. You build a central firehouse, they're going to be filled with 5 people 96% of the time. I don't think you need a building that big and unemploy some of these people just to build a building here. I'm telling you, as a union leader, we don't need it now. Keep these employees. And this has been passed on to your city manager. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and I just want to make something really clear. The cost for the firehouse has nothing to do with this budget or these layoffs. They do not. The money, it does not one iota. That's fine. I'm just going to make it clear. Absolutely.
I do have a question, Mayor. You're saying it doesn't impact this city.
It doesn't
will
impact
burden
the
the
budget.
taxpayers.
No.
There's a 30-year cost on this building. You cannot say there is no impact to this community.
What I said was it does not impact this budget. The funding for the principal and interest payments on the bonds for the firehouse is already being set aside. It does not impact the budget or the property tax increases that we have. So I don't want you thinking that the
I understand that.
That's all. I just don't want you thinking the
I also
firehouse.
talked to your city manager who says that money does not have to go towards a firehouse.
That's not true.
Well, he told me that. I think
Fine.
you need to clear that up with your acting city manager. We've talked about this.
It does have to go. It's set aside.
You told me in the meeting, when we sat in that meeting, that it does not have to go towards a city firehouse. So it's one thing or another. You can't come back with both. You tell me yes or no on that. If you're saying it is, but in a meeting, Brian said it does not have to.
When we as a council adopted the transfer tax 2 years ago, in our resolution, it was designated for funding for the firehouse. That money has been set aside in a separate account ever since, as it comes in, to cover the cost of the firehouse so it does not burden the taxpayers. It does not impact the budgets that we're looking at right now. And as I said, we do not want to have to lay off firefighters or police officers or sanitation workers or park maintenance workers. And we are going to work through that. But I don't want somebody thinking that building the firehouse is causing layoffs. It is not.
It's got to have some effect on this city.
It does not affect this budget. As a matter of fact, our debt service costs have gone down another $250,000 in this budget. So it's not. So I don't want that fear out there. That's all.
Thank you.
Is this my water?
Hi, my name is Dora Holloman, and I just would like to represent my family this evening. The unfortunate tragedy that occurred Wednesday was actually my cousin. And if it had not been for the effort of these men that walk around in these uniforms, these men and women that put their lives on the line every single day for us, y'all would still have a killer walking these streets. Because they refuse to sleep. They refuse to go home until they did the justification that was for us. Okay? That killer took the heart out of the city, and y'all don't see that. Y'all are not seeing how this affects. No, you don't. You'll say it, but you don't really know. Okay? You really don't know. And they didn't have to take the time of the day to do what they did. They did it out of love for a man that they knew would do anything for anybody, walking, breathing, living, anything. Okay? They do their job. And y'all are trying to take away a few of them just to save a couple of pennies. But what you're going to do is allow crime to rise so high. What are you going to do at that point in time? When you got people breaking in people's homes. But you don't have enough cops to stop that incident because on the other side of town may be some other incident going on. Y'all are not thinking ahead on that until it knocks on your own door. And that's when you're going to say, oh, maybe we made a mistake. But is it going to have to be a life that's going to cost y'all to see what the mistakes y'all made? I'm really hoping it don't. One more thing, 2 more things. My dad used to have a saying that in order to control an evil snake, you got to cut his head off. You know, and it's really sad. It's really sad to bring it to that. It's really sad to bring it to that. But in my 47 years of living in this city, I have never seen so many upset people in my life. I have never seen kids have nowhere to go because there was nothing for them to do. You could take the worst city in Westchester, Mount Vernon. Those kids have so much to do. Those that aren't involved in crime, they have so many centers for these kids to go to. And guess what? They are a struggling city just like we are financially. But they find the means to make sure that their kids are safe. Why can't y'all do that? What's so wrong with these kids being safe?
Please, we can't hear her if
And
you
the
do
last
that.
thing I want to say is the Constitution. I think all y'all need to go home and read it over, because it says for the people, by the people, or how does it go? We know what of the people. Yes. But the whole concept of it is that in order to run a sound government, it has to be adjustable for the people. Now, everything that comes from us is what you guys are supposed to be working with us to make everything peaceful. It's like you guys have trapped us. We're in a prison in Peekskill, and we don't even know it.